Sanbonani guys, welcome back to yet another video, and we are talking about my favorite show at the moment, you guys, Married at First Sight Mzansi. So guys, this latest episode actually starts with Upui Tepo and Sebenzile. Yo guys, I love this couple. I love this couple, guys, and I really wish them all the best. I actually have a feeling that Ubui Tepo and Usebenzilo are still married because when I checked her out on Instagram, she's still wearing her ring, and the ring looks like the same one that she's wearing on the show. So I am happy about that. I'm sorry about the spoiler alert, or maybe it's old pictures, but I don't think so because Ubui Tepo regularly posts pictures. So yeah, you guys, so it starts off with them too, Usebenzile just came from his gym, boot camp, Tonton, comes home and Uwitepo like has breakfast made there for him. And then they basically talk about how Ubitepo is worried about Uzitobile, that the last time they went out, Uzitobile was not fine. And she's worried about, she basically says she's worried about Uzitobile and how she felt. Uzitobile basically said she felt attacked by the ladies. But one thing about me, I didn't see how the ladies were attacking her in any way. I feel like just the way Sebenzile was saying that she had a defense, she was like, she had a defense, her defenses up because maybe the experience is just not going as well for her. But I don't feel like the ladies meant any malicious intent or they were trying to be funny. So anyway, B, remember last episode, last week, Ubuitepo, when the episode finished, she said some people are fake. So this episode, she continues with that, but saying basically the person who she feels is fake is Ukumo, because Kumo acts like one thing on camera and acts like another thing off camera. So Ubuitepo said that, remember when they were at having that girls' night out, basically Ukumo says or said that she has not been intimate, like she has not been having sex with her husband as yet. And apparently she had said that no, she's still waiting for tests to actually be done, that she's worked in a medical field before, so she wants them to do tests before, they jump into the sheets. And yet Ubitepa says, no, this was the same girl that called me into a space and basically told me on how she's getting it down and dirty with her man off camera. And now when the cameras are rolling, then she's talking about, no, we have not done that deed and whatnot. So Ubitepa's like, she doesn't appreciate a person who's like that and a person who can lie, would like lie with such a straight face. And quite frankly, Ubuitepo did not appreciate that. And Ubuitepo felt like why, like Ukumo is like so into the other lady's business. She's always asking questions, and yet when it comes to her business, she doesn't say anything. And you know what, guys? One thing about these ladies, the one lady that I feel like she's the realist out of all of them, she's not gonna fake anything. She's not gonna is Ubuitepo. I don't wanna lie. I really am fond of her, and I really do feel like she has genuine intentions. When she asks a question or when she's saying something to the other ladies, I really don't think she's acting like she's acting funny or she's acting for cameras. I pick up like genuine vibes from her, and I think that's why her and Sebenzile's the relationship is my favorite, because I feel like it's genuine vibes. So anyway, then we get to Utabang. There's then a scene of Tabang and Ukumo. They are in separate venues. So I don't know, maybe Utabang is out with work or what. They really didn't get to explain that. But they are FaceTiming one another, video calling one another, and yeah, basically checking up on one another in the morning. And then Ukumo basically brings up this thing of, last week or last night rather for them, last week for us, that the girls kept asking her, has she done the deed and whatnot? And she's like, she doesn't get it, why people keep asking her. And Utabang is like, yeah, very like, why is this becoming a thing of people asking you, like, have we done the deed? Like, why are people so curious? And I'm like, sir, let me tell you why people are so curious. People are so curious because Ukumo isn't out in other people's business. You see, if it was Uzitobile that was complaining, I would get it because Uzitobile hardly asks about people's relationships, so I'd get that. But Ukumo has no interest in complaining about people asking her about her sexual life because she's the one who starts those conversations. She's the one who's always asking other people and wanting to know people's business. And then when they return the question, then she wants to. Like, I don't even get, like, why is she hiding it so much? And she keeps lying about it. I don't know why she keeps lying about it because we all know at this point, we all know that they have went that mile. So another thing that Buitepo also said that Kuma said she doesn't like how messy Tabang is, and quite frankly, that is like turning her off turning her off. She said that off camera. And then on this episode, when she was video chatting or video calling Utabang, when Tabang was showing her the tour of the room, we saw a glance where Tabang's clothes were on the floor, and she's like, babe, like, why are your clothes on the floor? Like, grow up, don't, whatnot. Because apparently she had said to Buitepo that she feels like she is dating a child. So I was like, even though we did not get to see that conversation between Uwetepe and Ukumo, from what we got to see today, when she was kind of trying to make it a big deal out of Tabang leaving his clothes on the floor, I know for sure that Uwetepe was not lying. So I feel like Ukumo is like, for me, I'm just like, is Kumo trying to convince us or herself that she's happy? Because according to the conversations that she's been having offline, off camera, it looks like girl is not as happy as she appears, or that she's not as happy as she makes it seem on camera. So yeah, so Ukuma is basically telling her man that why they keep asking me about this sex thing, and I'm just like, Ukuma, when awuthandi indaba zabantu Kumo, and then when people ask you back, then you feel like people are in your business. Like, chill. Another thing I want to say about Ukuma, you guys, there was another scene where she actually went to go and meet her cousin. Not her cousin, her aunt, but basically her aunt is like more or less the same age as her because they're 2 years apart. She went to go and meet her aunt, and her aunt could not believe that she was married. And they did not tell their families. And yeah, and she was asking her, like, are you really happy? Like, this is an unconventional way of doing things, and you skipped so many processes and steps, like amalobolo. And out of that conversation, guys, one thing I'm coming to realize, that Ukuma has a stinking attitude. Ukuma has a stinking attitude, and it comes off as if she's playful. But if you listen to it, gashe, and you pay attention to it, Ukela has a stinking attitude. There was even a time where in this episode, Ukumo and Utabang, they attended their first therapy session. And one thing that the therapist picked up, I mean, that therapist is so good, you guys. I don't know how he picked up all of that just within like seconds. But I guess it's his job. So one thing he picked up about Ukumo and it's Utabang, he said, you guys have an argumentative style of communicating, which then becomes conflict, and it's all unconscious. And then Ukumo was like, no, we don't have an argumentative style of arguing. It's just that we're really playful. And I'm just like, sometimes we can tell, honestly, for me, sometimes I can tell Ukumo ingane. Ukumo is just 25 years old, you guys. And I feel like in some things, I'm starting to see that she's only 25 years old. And Utabang was like, you know what? No, Tabang was getting what the therapist was saying, but Kumo was not getting it. She was like more on the defense side. Because I can't remember what they said to one another, but they literally just spoke past one another. So Utabang was like, you know what? I agree, saying to the therapist, I agree that we do have an argumentative style of talking, uh, argumentative style of communicating. And he was saying that sometimes we play too much, and because we play too much, we aren't even able to distinguish and tell when someone else is being serious. And I felt like that was one of the issues I had with Ukume and Utabang. Initially, Kumu and Tabang were my favorite couple, you guys, but I started to realize everything is just fun and games for them. When it came to serious conversations, they hardly had serious conversations. And when they did have serious conversations, it ended really quick because someone ended up getting angry. Like that time when they went out and Ukumo was basically asking when is she going to meet Tabang's family. And they just kept laughing. And it got to a point where Tabang got irritated and he was like, "Now I'm serious. Like, stop asking me this because now this is getting to me." Like there was no alert whatsoever that he could have gotten there because they just laugh everything off and you think, "Kuyadlalwa, kanti umuntu is serious even in the joke." So I feel like that's like one of the issues that when it comes to serious things, they can't connect on that deeper level because it's always surface things. So I feel like Tabang, yeah, he got what the therapist was saying, but Ukumo was struggling to understand. And I'm just like, Ukumo, guys, Ukumo like Ukumo is going to be, in fact, Ukumo is a problem because she's got this thing, she's full of herself, number one, and she has this thing of, she always thinks she's the right. And I'm like, you can't make a marriage work with a person who has that mentality. Even the conversation she was having with her aunt couldn't even say anything. Her aunt ended up saying, "Okay, fine." Okay? She left it like that because Ukumo, everything, she has an answer for everything. Ukumo finds it difficult to just sit and listen and receive. Everything must be an argument. So yeah, you guys, and then anyway, the therapist said that, he wishes them all the best. But obviously he's there to help them make things work. But I could tell when the therapist saw that Utabang was getting what he was saying, Ukumo was a bit irritated because I think in her head, Kumo feels like Tabang is the childish one. But Kahle Kahle, she's the childish one because in her head, I don't know, but she's the childish one because, yeah, I think in her head, I don't know how Kuma thinks. I just know that she's giving off those vibes in the way she talks and the way she treats other people as well. And I mean the girls and her husband. But either or, as weeks progress, you guys, everything's going to come out in the open. Every couple is going to go through their test and trial. Nothing's going to be left unturned, you guys, because this is like, these are people and people rub one another and we offend one another. So yeah, we're gonna see it all. So that's on Ukumo and Utabam. And then what else? Uzi Tobile decides to give Ubuitepo a visit and decides to finally open up to Buitepo. She said that she noticed that out of the three ladies, Buitepo is the one that she can open up to or the one she's interested in building a relationship with. And in all honesty, I think that one, like opening up to Ubuitepo, is the safest. Because Ubuitepo, I feel like she's got a maturity about her, you guys, that makes me confident that she can even make it in marriage. Because guys, marriage requires maturity. And I'm so glad that she's also paired with a guy who is mature. So anyway, Uzi Tobile says something that I feel like sums up her marriage so well. She says, in my marriage, there is communication but no understanding. And I feel like that sums up their relationship so well because I feel like they do talk but they're not understanding one another. Uzitobino will talk, but Utami is not understanding her. Utami will talk, but Uzitobile is not understanding her. Now, you guys, one thing I want to say about this couple is that when it started off, I always felt like Tami was the one who's in the wrong. But now, you know what, you guys? I feel like both of them are going through it. Uzitobile, the tears thing, you guys, I get that she's sensitive, but that's too much now. No. It's too much. You can't be crying over everything and like it's not okay. It's not okay. Just the way there's the extreme side of things of not showing emotion. It's not okay to not show emotion. Yes, you must be strong and whatnot, but there are times and setups and environments where you must show emotion. Likewise, with being overly emotional, like you can't be over, like there's times where it requires you to sit down and talk through stuff. You can't be crying through everything. Ah, wabatung. Like, even I was feeling sorry for Utami because I was feeling emotionally drained for him. I was feeling emotionally drained on behalf of him because what do you do with like we're learning one another. I don't even know at this point what should I do for you when you're not okay. And all you're doing is just like crying most of the time. Like communicate, you know? And if you feel like the communication is not working, go to the experts, go to the therapist and like do something like but just don't cry all the time. Like it's frustrating. So anyway, she opens up, Uzitobilo opens up to Ubuipilo, and she basically says, Buitepo, why am I saying Buipilo? She opens up to Buitepo and she tells her that she thought that she would get something out of this experiment because before they actually entered this experiment, they wrote down the characteristics and what they want out of a man, and then they brought her something she did not order. So she says, yeah, she feels like she did not expect the experience to go down like this. She thought it was gonna be easier than what she's going through. When the producers asked her, rate your marriage, how happy are you in your marriage from a scale of 1 to 10, she said a 6.5. And personally for me, I don't know about you guys, I feel like a 6.5, rating a marriage a 6.5 is quite a good score. So I don't know. She says the other 3.5 is the friction, the frustration that she's going through. And I'm just like, yeah, you guys, yeah. So while Uzitobile was talking to Ubuitepo, Usebenzile decided to go and speak with Thami. And Thami was basically saying that there's something new each and every day with Uzitobile. He feels like he can't guarantee the type of person she is because every day there's a new behavior, there's a new emotion, and quite frankly, he doesn't know how to deal with it. He opens up about how Uzitobile is not into sex, and he feels like it's an intricate and important part of a marriage. And quite frankly, remember, both these people, guys, in a difficult situation. Also, Utami he got something he did not order, you guys, but at least I feel like he's trying. But Uzitobile, sometimes I'm just like, it's too much. So anyway, it got to a point, guys, where anyway, before I get there, Uzitobile Uboitepo, she advised, I love the advice she gave Uzitobile and said basically, the only way you're going to get what you want out of this marriage is if you speak up. Because Uzi was basically saying there's certain things he doesn't do that I feel like I shouldn't be asking for and whatnot. And I'm just like, you know what? Someone said on a previous video that I did, and I have to agree with him that Uzitobile, this experiment is not for people like her, and I have to agree. How are you coming into an experience like this and then you have expectation that a person must know A, B, and C about you without communicating? Like, come on. Even in the outside world, guys, where we know one another and we're now living with the person, there's certain things that the person is not going to do because guess what? Your partner can't read your mind, and that's why communication is key. You tell a person, listen, ukuthi nokuthi nokuthi, and then you can complain once you've said, ukuthi, I've communicated this a number of times. But Uzitobile, I don't know, she lives in some fairy tale world, but I kind of feel that the fact that she doesn't have much dating experience is kind of contributing factor to the way she behaves and the way she is. Because I feel like she's quite childish in her thoughts about relationships and her expectations. And I feel like it has to do with her lack of experience of that. Then next thing, Uzitobilo, guys, she's outside on her own. She basically took a break from Utami, took a break from the cameras, and she's sitting alone. and the cameras come there and she's like, I just said I want space from you guys. Next thing, Thami is there. Thami's trying to find out like what is happening, you know. She's like, I just want space from the experiments. I want space from anything, like it's too much. I'm tired. And when the producers are asking her like, what are you tired from? She's tired from everything. Like, I get it, you guys. This experiment, Pella guys, you must remember you are sitting in a room. And that room is full of cameras. And you are expected to be you're expected to be authentic while there's other people there. You're expected to be lovey-dovey, to kiss and do all of these things while there's people literally staring at you. So that's how I was saying I feel like this experiment is not for people like Uzitobile. It got too much for her, and I got that, and I feel like maybe they should have given her a space. But the production crew were not just giving her a space. They were like, no, we want you to show your raw, authentic feelings on camera, which she eventually done. And then her and Thami had a conversation, which I was happy about. Thami ended up breaking down and crying because Thami says some of the things he says, even though they come out harsh, he says in his mind, guys, and he gets surprised when Uzitobile takes it personal and ends up crying. And I'm giving him a level of grace, you guys, because in the Zulu tribe, it's like that. In the Zulu tribe, there's no time for being sensitive and emotional. That's how they are with one another. They are harsh with one another. It's just a normal thing. So I think Thami has never been exposed to that. And he does say that he's never been exposed to that. And that's what like makes it difficult for him. But he was kind because he says, yeah, Nagashirashi, he's an emotional person. And he's not a type of person that treats, like he's not an abusive person. And he feels like this situation is painting him as if he's an abusive person, whereas a lot of the things he says, and then Zitobile said the thing that got her to a point that escalated things is that she checked Thami's phone. And when she checked Thami's phone, she realized that Thami had blocked her from seeing his statuses. I was just like, ma'am, what were you doing on Thami's phone? Like, you are busy claiming Uguti, you guys can't connect emotionally. So why are you going through someone's phone? Like, why? Please. So Thami says the reason why he blocked her from doing his statuses is because he says that he posts foolish things on his statuses, and he's realized that Uzitobile is a sensitive person, so he blocked her because he doesn't want to be posting silly things. Next thing, she thinks that it's like he's trying to throw subliminal messages towards her, their marriage or their relationship, and that's the reason why he blocked her. Now, I get it why she would take things in that way, but I'm just like, nah, this couple, like, they're going through real stuff. But I just need us also to give Thami a level of grace because he's also going through a lot, you guys. It's not only Uzitobile that's going through a lot. They end up getting to see their therapist for the first time. Listen, the therapist didn't even give them much advice. The only thing he said is that you guys are being too hard on yourself. Uzitobile, when they spoke about sex, she said she doesn't even know whether she's doing it right or wrong or what. I'm just like, Uzitobile, she just needs to calm down. Maybe a lot of these things are all in her head. And the therapist was basically saying, at the end of the day, guys, you guys are here to enjoy. So at least enjoy the experience. So yeah, you guys, and that is basically it. The episode basically closes where the ladies go and see the sex therapist. I forgot what they call them. Basically like a ladies' night out where they are teaching them and talking about their sex lives. And everyone was comfortable in talking about their lives there, except one person, Uzitobile. She was so uncomfortable, you guys. But you know what? I guess people are different, you guys. Some people are comfortable about speaking about it and some people aren't. But Uzitobile, it's more than not just being comfortable. She doesn't enjoy it. And I'm like, in order for you to enjoy something, you guys, you must open up your mind to it. If you're not opening up your mind to it, there's no way you're going to enjoy it. So I really do hope that out of this experience, because on Uzitobile's Instagram, I noticed she is wearing a ring, except she's wearing a different ring. So I don't know if she might be married to another guy now. because I noticed on her picture she was not wearing a ring, and then suddenly her latest picture she's wearing a ring with roses. So I don't know if that was an engagement type of thing. So is she engaged to a new guy? Did she divorce Thami, or is it still Thami? But I really do hope, whichever it is, that her mindset towards marriage, towards sex, that it really has been transformed, because I really do feel like there's a lot of work that needs to be done there. So while the girls were out there in their pajamas learning about all these positions and whatnot, the guys were out to a culinary experience where they were getting taught how to cook for their ladies, cook for their women, how to cook with ingredients that is going to spice things up in the bed like bugu. It was cute type of vibe. But overall, it was a good episode, you guys. I can't wait to watch the next episode. If you got to watch it, guys, tell me what did you think about it. Please do make sure you like the video. Please do subscribe. It is absolutely for free of charge. And I'll see you guys on the next one.